Okay, so this is a coloring book by Steve Turner, aka Squidoodle, and this is his Doodles. And so I'm working on a project here, working on this one, and it's a grayscale skull. And what I'm doing is making the skull a little more realistic, like it's actually a skull. And so there's a lot of little detail here. As you can see where the bone of the skull, where he's drawn it, stands out a little bit more in certain places. And so what you want to do when you're doing this kind of work is work in small patches. So I am using my, I don't know if you can see it, Positive Art gel pen. It's very, very nice. Works really good. So there you can see it. Oh, sorry. Had really bad light. Okay. So, say like right here, I have like these little details. What I want to do here is highlight them, but I don't want it to be like over. I don't want to use too much of the gel pen. And with these gel pens, they dry very fast. So what I'm doing is I'm working in a very small patch, and then I really try to just rub it just really, really quickly with my finger so that I'm not getting the page too wet and I'm not getting too much in an area. I still want to keep the grayness of it because it just makes it more realistic. I mean, if you've ever seen a skull, say if you've ever been to like a museum or something, skulls are white and cream. So I am going to go back in with some white here, like you can see on the cheekbones. It's very worn. It looks like it's very worn, so there will be a little bit more white there compared to some of these darker spots where you wouldn't have a lot of light, because that would be going on the inside of the nose cavity. So you're just working in very small space. And you see I might have used just a little bit too much there, but I can work that out. But you want to make it so that you're going with the grain of the drawing, and you're working in small batches. When you look at it from far away, all your colors should blend in, and eventually, that little spot that I was working on can be fixed. Not too worried about that. You don't want to make everything too gray or too black, because not all the spots are going to be gray and black, even in a grayscale category. I like the first one I did. I'll show you a video of that. There's one I'm currently working on. Here's the one I've already finished. And you can see, I've used a lot of color on this one because, it was more mechanical. I did use some glitter in there too. But you can see where the bone, especially if you look at it from far away, it really does look skullish. It's just very, very cool. I can go back over in some of these spots too, like when I look close up with the phone, and there's, some spots that could be fixed or could be altered, but in the grand scheme of things, when you see it like that, it's very, very cool. And I'm not very much of a skull fan, I would say. Sometimes skulls are a little bit creepy. Sometimes skulls are very fun. But I do like sugar skulls And there are some in here like this one, which I'm really looking forward to doing some of the, you know, brighter colors on this with the flowers and the leaves and things like that. You know, sugar skulls are really cool, and you know, with Mexican heritage and everything, it's a really way to honor the dead. It's not really about the bones or anything. It's about honoring your loved ones. And so sugar skulls are pretty cool. And anyways, we're all made of bone, so you know, whatever. It's all cool. So I'm hoping that you're liking this so far. And wish you luck in all your guys' colorings if you do any skulls. Sometimes they can get complicated and feel a little overwhelmed, but you know, just try to do the best you can. Highlight these areas, you know, like up here where you have nose cavity. You can go in. Don't do it too dark. But highlight those nice little, you know, nuances right there. And you know, really give it some depth. You know, here you've got some cracking. You can go in there with it and really highlight that. And you know, along these teeth, I always find the teeth a little bit more challenging because I want to highlight these areas right here, but I also don't want them to be the same necessarily as the skull itself. Teeth are going to be more white. You're going to have, you know, some coloring on here, but you don't want to go like too far into it. And then you want to, you know, lighten your edges right here where you can see that I've colored with the same as the skull. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to lighten this up a lot, so it blends in and it actually looks like teeth, like real teeth. You know, because the teeth, while you're alive, are very bright and white. But obviously, if you were dead, you wouldn't be brushing your teeth, so they would be, you know, darker and grayer in color, where he's drawn in, you know, all this gray, these gray spots, which are great. So, also along these dark lines, I'm not gonna like leave this entirely like real black. I want to highlight it in a way where that part has depth to it of the bone, you know, because as you age you have, you know, crevices and all kinds of things, you know, going on with your body. You know, say you've been in any kind of accident, you might have damage to your bone or whatever, but your facial features already have, you know, accents in the bone anyway, so you can see how I've gone there. And this is obviously close up, but from farther away you can see it adds more depth to it. And so you're just going to keep going with this. You're not going to do like the whole thing all look, you know, very creamy colored or whatever. It's not supposed to really look like skin. So this isn't the only color that I'll be using, but you definitely want to highlight these spots right here and give it depth with your main color that you're using. Now for the hat, it's got a lot of paisley stuff in it. Not really sure what colors I'm going to use for that. Haven't really had any inspiration, but since it's going to be so, I want the pop, I want it to pop. I want the hat to pop off the head. I want the skull to be focused, but you know, the hat's got to be like a party hat basically. And so I'll probably use, you know, some reds and greens, yellows. We'll see what I'm sorry, I sneezed. We'll try to hold it in. We'll see what happens with that, how that goes. I don't know. Reds, orange, and green sound good. Paisley. I'm gonna try and go over here and highlight this little area right here. Like I said, with these pens dry really fast. Might be good to have somebody else hold the phone while you do this. Gotta get in there really quick. Alright, I think this is it because I want to continue on. So, thanks y'all for watching. See you later.